Our world is long since shattered, but hope still flickers in our darkest dreams. Few would guess that our fate would be decided upon the Oneric Isles, an almost forgotten archipelago of the southern sky realms. On these uncanny islands, the apostatic union, power-drunk after slaughtering their once exalted gods, maintains but a paltry presence. Under their negligent gaze, the deep forests and dark places teem with cutthroats, cultists, and worse. In the desolate, endless realm, poor souls languish undying in decrepit mausoleums, yearning for their lost mortality, while the Clockwork Kingdom, ruled by the crooked logic of its manufactured monarch, strives to transform not just the realm, but reality itself. All these regions have their part to play in this unfolding story, but it begins fathoms below, in the Underlands, a ruinous wasteland where none can draw breath for long. It is here that a secret waits to be uncovered by someone whose dreams burn brighter than any. But will those dreams kindle into a radiant destiny, or will we burn in the folly of delusion?
Good evening, Internet. Hope that you are doing well. Welcome back for another night of strange and scary games. Tonight we've got Dread Delusion, which is the follow-up to LovelyHellplace's Shatter, which I played in the last video. This game, I know that Akuma Kira worked on it. I don't know exactly what they did or in what capacity. I just know that they've helped out with some of the programming. I'm hoping that this will be kind of a similar playthrough to some of my other action RPG playthroughs, so I hope that you guys enjoy it. So let's get into it.
The world was long ago broken, its surface cursed. You are a dweller of the sky realms, drifting islands that cradle the last of human civilization. Here, in the dank cell of an Inquisition ship, you ruminate on your past.
All right.
Dreams of childhood slip through your mind. Was your fate sealed, even then?
Brawler, the idea of battle captivates you. It always has. You started by smashing sticks. Before long you were clashing swords. There was never any question. You were a fighter through and through. Urchin, growing up you were nobody, just another malnourished child clogging the city. Without the street gang, you'd have died like the rest. They taught you to see what others didn't, to slip in where the others couldn't. They taught you to survive. Apprentice, as a child of a remarkable promise from an unremarkable family, your parents sold you to a passing scholar. Your youth was spent copying tomes till your hands bled, but what you read you did not forget. Noble, a child of noble birth, you were dining with foreign dignitaries before you could walk. You learned manners and etiquette, but more than anything, tenacity, for the glittering halls of Riova can be more cutthroat than the darkest valleys. +2 persona increases your regen rate. +2 wisdom increases your mana. +2 guile increases your stamina. +2 might increases your maximum health. I'm drawn towards Brawler or Apprentice. I think I'm going to go Brawler.
The body grew, the mind sharpened. For a while, you excelled.
You were drafted into the Apostatic Union's military. The God War might have ended, but the hunt for cultists had not. You toured the Union's fringes, fighting occult insurgents in bloody skirmishes, and seeing friend and foe cut down. Mercenary, you joined a band of mercenaries, selling your sword to the highest bidder. When work was slow, you scavenged ruins of wrecked skyships to make ends meet. Before long, you were as deft with lockpicks as a blade. Inquisitor, you were sought out by the Inquisition, who trained you as an agent. In the hunt for God worshippers, you were taught their false histories, their untruths. You learned to sniff out their dens and decipher their hidden secrets. Assassin. Frontline combat was always so vulgar. You honed your skills in secret while clinking glasses with powerful people in elegant ballrooms. When your employers slipped you a name, you killed subtly. I really like either mercenary or inquisitor. I think I'm gonna go inquisitor.
Cracks showed. Your guard slipped. The mistake was grave. The Inquisition had your scent.
Traumatized. Years of killing took its toll. You slept lightly, a knife under the pillow, if you slept at all. Noises made you twitchy. In dark places you saw the men you'd killed. One day you snapped and killed a man in broad daylight for all to see. Deserter. You'd had your fill of bloodshed, but saw no way out, so you deserted. Your old comrades pursued you over islands and skyships until you could run no more. Fatal miscast. To excel in combat, you studied not just the blade, but the secret language of the cosmos. You wrote spells of your own design, dangerous and illegal without training. But a spell backfired, killing the wrong person, sealing your fate. Arms dealer. Your knowledge in weaponry opened new avenues. You became an arms dealer, trading items of lethality. Such pursuits, however, are as profitable as they are illegal, and your luck didn't last forever. I like either traumatized or fatal miscast here. I think I'm going to go traumatized. The turn radius is a little bit slow. Can I turn up the look sensitivity? That's a bit better. Okay. Again, I love the colors here. Green and the pink and the red. It's all mixing together just so well. Pilfered 3 coins. Prisoner XV11, you have been marked for temporary release. The High Confessor will see you in the central chamber. Do not keep her waiting. Only the High Confessor can answer that, but I calculate there is an 8 in 10 chance you'll be granted the honor of a glorious and sanctifying death. Can't touch you. The device lurches on unstable legs, thick blood oozing from its seams with each shuddering movement. A woman's voice, hoarse and raspy, echoes from within the device. Your services required, prisoner XVII. A cackle lapses into a sputter of coughs. You forfeited the right to a name when you betrayed the apostatic union. A number is all you deserve. But I offer you the chance of penance, an opportunity to atone for your vulgar crimes. I am the High Confessor of this Inquisition Combat Tribunal. We are tracking the most dangerous of criminals, and you will help us. She wheezes. You should be glad of such a righteous opportunity to serve penance, but success could bring benefits, even your freedom, so listen carefully. Our target's whereabouts have been known for some time, a backwater archipelago on the very fringes of Union territory. Known as the Oneiric Isles, these flying islands are host to a manor of outcasts and miscreants. We arrived a few hours ago, but met with fierce resistance. Our target is in the Blinding Light Fortress, the last remaining holdout of the Dark Star mercenaries. For our quarry is their leader, the notorious Vela Callose. She is the daughter of Admiral Callose, groomed for command, but she set off on her own to found a warband of thieves and pirates. The Dark Stars were tolerated in the Union until Vela became enthralled with delusions of grandeur. She claimed she could create some sort of heaven. Before you go, take this Inquisition journal. A mechanical arm thrusts a peculiar device in your direction. It will keep track of your mission. My drones can offer guidance, and closer to the blinding light, Inquisitor Ignavus can assist you further. Oh, and don't try to run. These flying islands are unstable, and many a fool has fallen to their death. Alright. I thought we were going to be escaped from New York, and like some explosive was going to be put into our head. Damaged doors can be broken with a weapon. There's a chest next to me. Pick up the sword, then press the inventory key to open your journal. Navigate to the equipment panel and equip the sword into one of your weapon slots. Lastly, remember to press the attack key to unholster your weapon. Through this meager task, I calculate there is a 1 in 20 chance you will somehow perish in the attempt. Alright. Inventory. There we go. Health potion. Restores your health. This potion is brewed from the Eye of Pegath, herb, and hastens the body's restorative functions. It is prescribed by most doctors, one of their few treatments that does more good than harm. Might have to turn the sensitivity up just a little bit more. Mana potion revitalizes mana. Created from the Paradoxicus herb, this potion stimulates the mind and increases the user's magical potency. It has become quite a habit for many university scholars. Again, I just wish I had my vertical leap from Lunacid. Okay, we can't get anything from you guys. Are you a friend? You're not an enemy, at least. Are you a friend? Are you a ghost? What do we have here? Another wretched soul caught in the Inquisition's web, no doubt. Tell me, has your High Confessor sent you off to die? A melancholic smile spreads across her lips. She can be terribly cruel, can't she? She gazes into the distance. Well, stranger, you'd best watch yourself out there. Mark my words, something's brewing on these islands. The stage is set, the curtain's drawn. The performance is set to bring the house down. She smirks at you, and something tells me you have your own role to play. Pilfered 2 coins. Nope. Alright. More coins. What are we doing here? You glimpsed a glimmer of delusion. Collect more to gain full delusion. Do I want to gain more delusion? Stamina potion. Restores stamina and portion of stamina threshold. Derived from the jitter seed, this potion imbues the user with natural energy. So Red Bull. Okay, got it. God, look at this. Stamina potion. One lockpick. I'm assuming I'm going to need to do a lockpick tutorial over there. The road ahead is patrolled by Dark Star mercenaries. I strongly recommend sneaking through the mushrooms to avoid combat. It's not that I doubt your skills. Prisoner, what is that? Is that 17? Prisoner 17? I simply calculate a 3 in 5 chance you will die horribly. Remember, direct conflict is usually avoidable. Be on the lookout for ways to sneak past tough enemies. How do we sneak? Crouch. I think they see me. Go. So let's try this again. Health pot. There's something over there too. Let's go see what's over there. She doesn't see me this time. I wonder if it's a proximity thing. Gained a health pot. Are you an enemy? Jitter seed, a potent seed that vibrates in one's hand, can be used as an alchemy ingredient. The volatile nature of this herb makes it ideal for restorative potions and poisons alike, and so is prized in the criminal gangs of Slev? Mana pot. It's very generous with the pots so far. Let me out. Let me out. Damn it. Fine, I'll go around. Let's go check out the burning house. Can I get into the burning house? Doesn't appear that I can get in there. Is there a way to get in from above? New weapon? Throwing knife, a well-balanced steel knife designed to be thrown. In Slev, thieves and thugs alike like to coat the blade with jitter seed extract for an additional sting. So we can make a poisoned throwing knife. Can't do that. Well, shit. Damn it. That was kind of cool. I like the kind of Mario effect. Ammunition. Assortment of ammunition for ranged weapons required to fire bows and the like. Our agent is dying, but they still might be of use. You may have to charm them to gain their trust. The agent may take some convincing. You have been a prisoner for some time. I can no longer smell, but there's a high probability that you emit a foul stench. Success relies on your charm skill, which is derived from the persona attribute. Give me the money. I want my money. Are you one of the locals? He looks you up and down in disgust. Look, just leave me be. I failed the Inquisition. I'd rather die in peace. I'm here to help. Your Inquisitor has tasked me with capturing Vela Callose. He lets out a wary chuckle that breaks into a cough. Oh my, I recognize you now. You're one of the prisoners. Gods, the Inquisitor must be really desperate. You know you're gonna die, right? Those bastards wiped out our whole echelon. If you insist on this fool's errand, you might find some supplies at my crash drop pod. Follow the river upstream and you should find it by the waterfall. Did we already do that? Ah. How much money do we have? 28. I was really hoping for a better weapon. Pilfered a lockpick. Shielding potion. Temporarily boosts armor. This potion floods the bloodstream with a simple spell that deflects attacks, although it deflects hugs and handshakes all the same. The Hedgehog's Dilemma potion. To progress, you must unlock this door. You will simply need a lockpick to begin. You should find an ample supply next to me. When picking a lock, there is always a chance you will fail and the lockpick will break. To pick locks more easily, increase your lockpick skill. Mechanical locks are not the only security measure you will come across. There is an art to disguising secrets through magical means. Where's the ample supply of lockpicks? Can I get more? So it's RNG. Some doors can be opened via hidden mechanisms. These secret switches require a high enough lore skill and a small amount of mana to unlock. The lore skill is governed by your wisdom. You may be able to further increase it using special equipment. In this room, the candlesticks on the wall have been enchanted to seal a secret passageway. To dispel them, you will need enough lore skill. The incantation will also deplete your mana slightly. A single passageway may need several switches, so always be mindful of your surroundings. Something has changed. Current status is represented by 3 stats: health, mana, and stamina. To restore your status, rest in bed or drink a potion. Powerful entity has taken an interest in you. By their grace, you will be plucked from the jaws of death and transported to a death shrine without losing items or progress. That's pretty cool. We got our bonfires. Inquisitor Ignavus is waiting for you in the nearby Inquisition column, prisoner 17. We strongly recommend speaking to him before wandering forth to your highly probable demise. Did you have something else to say? Okay. I thought I had skipped something, but it doesn't look like I did. As you approach, the Inquisitor takes in a deep breath of air. Do you smell that, prisoner 17? Smoke of battle? He sniffs exactly twice. I suppose there is a hint of that. But I was actually talking about mushroom spores. He turns to you, a beaming smile across his face. I've never seen this many mushrooms in my life. Such wide stalks, such healthy gills. Ah, and such potent spores. We have mushroom forests back home in Lundell, but nothing like this. Waggles a finger at you while turning his gaze back to the mushrooms. Prisoner 17, if you get back alive, remind me to get a patch of scry shroom tea for my wife. They make it here in the Onieric Isles, and I hear it's to die for. He slaps you on the shoulder. That's damn good of you, prisoner. Ah, but where are my manners? He holds his hand out in greeting. Inquisitor Ignavius of the 12th Inquisitorial Tribunal, pleased to make your acquaintance. He grips your hand with an equal firmness. I see I'm in good company, prisoner. Points at the fortress head. That's the blinding light, the fortress of Vela Callose, a leader of the Darkstar mercenaries. The High Confessor told me you'd be joining the assault. Not a moment too soon. We need all the help we can get. I've sent all of my agents, but so far none have reported back. We expected heavy fighting, but it seems those Darkstar ruffians are a tougher bunch than we gave them credit for. Your orders are to capture Vela alive, a tall order, I'll admit, but I think you're up to the job, prisoner. So, any questions? Ah, the sneaky sort, are we? Well, you're in luck. My agents reported that there's a side entrance to the right of the fortress, which leads into a maintenance tunnel of some sort. I'm sure the Darkstar laid plenty of traps, but surely nothing you couldn't disarm with a deft hand, eh? Once you're inside, you could try and avoid detection by keeping to the walls. These old Gadwar forts have plenty of nooks and crannies, so just keep quiet and out of sight, yes? Ah, well, we established a small boot camp of sorts just here. I always make sure to remind my combat echelon of the fundamentals before a tricky mission, so you'll find plenty of target dummies and tutorial signs just below. Why, do you see that great big cannon looming overhead? That's part of the Blinding Light Fortress and is where you need to get to. Just stride into that main gate, making sure to slay any pesky Darkstars that get in your way. Once you're in the compound, find a lift mechanism that will take you up to the battlements. That's where Vela has been holed up. Yes, I'm sure you have plenty of questions. What do you want to know? Ah, because rigorous labor is a tonic for the ills of one's mind. We're not like some common judiciary back in Union homeland, where prisoners are thrown in a pit with a scrap of moldy bread, no matter their crime. Taps his forehead. We recognize the twisted intellect of our guests, and if we can untwist that reason with the right application of punitive employment, we will have enlightened the world just a little. We're also authorized to use any method at our disposal when a mission is going. Ah, how did they say in Slev? Utters up. He strokes his chin. Many in the Inquisition think it a travesty that a confessor, that is, a prisoner still serving their penance, has been granted control of an entire tribunal. Normally, it would be a job of a High Inquisitor. Indeed, there's also the nature of her crimes and how they relate to the very criminals she has been tasked to apprehend. But personally, I think despite her quirks, she's proved herself as one of the most accomplished agents within our ranks. Ah, that's the spirit, prisoner. I'm sure you'll make short work of those ruffians. And when you're done, be sure to check in with me after the mission. I've taken quite an interest in these Onieric Isles of the late, and I'm sure I can fill you in with plenty of useful tidbits. Teleportation spell that transports the caster to the last crystal touch, though widely used by scholars, some still prefer to walk. Claim the chance of being incorrectly teleported off a cliff is not negligible. Attack damage depends on your current stamina. The lower your stamina, the less damage you'll do. Your maximum stamina will also deplete slowly over time. If it reaches half its original value, you'll become fatigued, temporarily reducing all stats. Maximum stamina can be restored by sleeping in bed or using a stamina potion. Is there a bed? Okay, so if you hold it, it does more damage. It's not a bed, okay. Hold block to reduce incoming enemy attacks. If you time a block just as an enemy attack lands, you'll parry it. Successful parries negate all damage and will stagger. How do you block? Block is F. Can I reset that? Spell is right mouse button. That F. Make that right mouse button. There we go. 15 damage. There's a bed. All right. We need to get up in there. I missed something. See that looming fortress? It struck fear into the hearts of many who are braver and stronger than you, stranger. It was made in the God War, so the apostatics named it the Blinding Light to ridicule the gods they planned to butcher. Ironic that it should fall into the hands of someone so blinded by ambition and zeal, for Vela has claimed it in pursuit of her own twisted heaven, and the Blinding Light now turns its guns towards the faithless souls who made it. Tell me, stranger, if a hated enemy stood between you and your most cherished ideal, would you strike them down? Would you have the arrogance to take a life in pursuit of your fantasy? Yes, I would kill for my beliefs. At least you're the honest sort, and you're hardly alone. The sky realms are stained with the blood of those who stood on the wrong side of history. Even the gods proved fallible in the end. Still, I fear that in a world like this, such a heart will only see you dead in a gutter by the sword of someone far less scrupulous. Eye of Pegath. A flower shaped oddly like an eyeball, it can be used as an alchemy ingredient. Named after the legendary god Pegath, this herb is well known for its healing properties and is used in medicine across the Apostatic Union. So we want to get up to the cannon. He told us to go in through the right side, so let's go to the left first. Money, 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 money. Lift is not active. Oh no. Come on. Come on. Why? Alright. Where's this home spell? There we go. Why? Okay then. Don't see me. Don't see me. I said don't see me. It doesn't seem to be working. How do we level up? Nice try. All right, let's try the front door. Oh, hi. I can't believe that that worked. I mean, I can believe it, because it's a video game. I just didn't think that it would work. Where'd she go? Nice try. Beer. A mug full of frothy beer. Beer is cheap in the Skylands, mostly derived from fermented mushroom pulp. It's exported to the far corners of the Apostatic Union. I was really expecting that to be locked from the other side. $10 and a lockpick. 6 seasons in a movie. Barred from the other side. There it is. Where are you going, prisoner 17? Are you attempting to run from your duty? If you must recuperate, the lift next to me will take you back to the Inquisition camp. But Vela is still in the fortress, as we strongly suggest you go back inside and find a way to reach the battlements up above. Yeah, I'd like to activate this. Do I have a map? Have not found any maps. Too slow. Where's the waterfall from before? Can we crawl through here? We can. Interesting. Oh, that's a 6. I don't think we're getting that anytime soon. Iron ore, a decent quality ore that can be used to upgrade rusty weapons. Most of the Isle's mines were abandoned after the God War, but the ore remains there for the taking. Are these giant swords? Bolts for the cannon? You just catch those ones from behind, you got them. Leucosic bomb, a vial of fine white powder distilled through alchemical processes. Extremely volatile. The flask will explode on impact when thrown. Dang it. Anybody in here? Nobody in here? Why do I have a bad feeling about this room? Is this a boss fight arena? Vela Callose stands with gravitas, her voice piercing the clatter of the ship. You notice blood seeps from her armor. She is wounded, but hides it well. Loose the sails, and why is the anti-grav engine not running? Suddenly, you catch her eye. What's this, a straggler? The Dark Star Company greets you. My apologies, but you have caught us at a rather inopportune moment. I've just escaped from an Inquisition prison. Can I join you? She looks you up and down, smirking. I mean no offense, but the Dark Star Company has certain standards, and you don't quite fit the bill. Prepare yourself, straggler. Great deeds are afoot. Deeds that will bring the Apostatic Union's tyranny to an end, and that will usher in a new age of heaven. And with that, we must take our leave. It's been a pleasure, but I doubt we'll meet again. Well, bye. Is one of these chests going to be a mimic? This oddity of a spell draws upon the caster's force of personality rather than their arcane knowledge to sway erstwhile enemies to their side. Much studied by academic wizards, the nature of the spell remains something of a mystery, but its power is not in doubt. Upgrade property. Do we own this property now? Is this our home? It goes down. Down in an earlier round. Cutter needs to be repaired. Door is barred from the other side. Two coins. How do we repair the cutter? Lift is not yet active. Oh, it's you. The High Confessor wants to speak with you up on the platform. Though what she sees in a wretched prisoner is beyond me. You catch a beaming smile behind the agent's visor. Ah, so you're the one who squared up to Vela, and to think we had you locked in a cell. Well, you really showed us how it's done. Anyway, I think the High Confessor wants to see you. I wouldn't keep her waiting. Ah, prisoner 17, I believe you are wanted by the High Inquisitor. Best not to keep her waiting, yes? But by all means, come back and speak to me afterwards. We've much to discuss. The High Confessor is giving orders to the agents around her, pointing with her mechanical limbs and shouting between bouts of coughing. Eventually, she notices you. Ah, prisoner. 17, wasn't it? Our drones have been tracking you. It seems that Vela has escaped. Nonsense. I was certain you would be cut into tiny pieces. It's astounding you made it this far. But your sentence still stands. You may yet prove your usefulness. We must ascertain where Vela has fled to. Luckily for us, I know just who we can ask. She laughs to herself, but this turns into a pained series of retches. After a moment, you think she may have vomited. Excuse me. The Oniaric Isles are home to a number of former Darkstar mercenaries. My superiors would rather I executed them, but she is silent a moment. They are of more use to us alive. If anyone knows where Vela went, they will. I would start with Jack Basalt, a former Navy captain turned sellsword. We have already contacted him and arranged a meeting. You can find him at the Wobbly Noggin pub in Hollowtown, in the center of the Oniaric Isles. Basalt has promised to direct us toward his comrades in exchange for the polymath's pardon. He can help you find the others. Follow the road south through the village of Quill and across the gate bridge. This should get you into Hallowshire. You will need to acquire the Apostolic Union passport to cross the bridge. I wish I could grant you one myself, but we are undersupplied. Perhaps the locals in the village of Quill could help you. Good, and be careful. These islands are on the very fringe of Apostolic Union territory. There may be worshippers or even minor gods who have fled the Union's purges tucked away here. The only assuredly faithless place is Hallowtown. And beyond Hallowshire's borders, there is ground even Union boots won't tread upon. To the east, the Clockwork Kingdom is in full-blown crisis, while the people of the Endless Realm to the west are cursed to never die. My tribunal will establish a command post in this fortress, the Blinding Light. Return here to recuperate if you wish. Oh, and one more thing. From now on, you'll be known as Confessor 17. This doesn't change your crimes or your sentence, but it sounds a little better than prisoner, eh? Farewell, Confessor. Look at this world. Look at how cool this world is. I'm back. I made tea, and now I'm going to try playing with the controller this time. Is there a bed around here? Yeah, I'm exhausted. Let me see. How do you run with controller? That's the map. That's the jump. Let's crouch. There we go. Lift is not yet active. That's inconvenient. I see a tent down here. Hopefully there will be a bed there. Hello. Oh my, what's all that commotion over yonder? I appear to be quite lost. I bought a map of these Oniaric Isles back in Riova, but it seems to be decades out of date, he grumbles. That's the trouble with these fringe islands. Every few decades they float into different positions. Take my advice, traveler. If you're looking to explore, make sure you find an accurate map. Do you know where I can find a map? Well, I noticed that the Erudite Academy is flying over Hallishire to the south of here. Can you see it up there in the sky? It travels all over the Apostatic Union, so I've heard. I met one of their scholars in a red tent in the forest underneath Quill Village, though I've seen them in other places too, believe it or not. They're working on a map of the region right now, only it's not quite ready. Still, I'd try asking them. Worth a shot, eh? Oh, I'm trying to get to the Endless Realm. It's said to be a place where people never die, even though the flesh peels from their bones. As a boy, my mother would scare me with tales of the Cadaver Crusades. When the Endless would hunt the living and feast on their still-warm bodies, it would scare me witless, but still, I always dreamed of going there someday. And I have it on good authority that they've reformed their ways. They only eat non-sentient meat and are on good terms with the Apostatic Union. So I said to myself, what do I have to lose? He gulps. Well, I suppose they could still eat me. Alright, so we're looking for a red tent. Sacred Shroom. Quill Village. I have Pegath. Knives and money. For some reason in my head I just thought, girls don't like boys, girls like knives and money. Which I don't think quite fits. I mean, I don't think it's inaccurate. There we go. Pop in. Have I not got you yet? Money. Where am I? Oof. Contraption seems to require a key. Key that we don't have. Didn't we take the fortress? I'm pretty sure I got an achievement for taking the fortress. Why are there still enemies here? Don't see me. Don't see me. I said, don't see me. I specifically asked that you not do that. I'll take that. Thank you. Truth Potion dispels illusions and reveals the truth of things. The Union has banned the use of this potion, for it interferes with many of their officially sanctioned spells. Ow. That reminds me of the Twitter can't use their filters to get rid of neo-Nazi stuff because too many Republican politicians would be banned. Is he gone? I think he's gone. What's your favorite name for Twitter now? Personally, I like shitter, but I know that some people have their own names for it. Are you a living tree? This was the way to the mushroom place, right? Sacred shroom. My one critique so far is that I feel like I haven't seen a bed in quite a while. And that all of these locks are too hard. Please fix. Lift is not active. Hello there. Look at that thing up there. He seems super excited to be here. All right, so what do we got? Quill Village, God War Fort, Sacred Shroom. I guess let's go... Yeah, let's go to Quill Village. I was trying to go to the Sacred Shroom first, but it looks like there's enemies that way. I need your guys' opinion on something. So I saw a video essay the other day about the Nonary games, 999, Zero Escape, and then Zero Time Dilemma. I played through those last year because I was wanting to play something kind of like intellectually stimulating, and they did the job. I like them. The video essay called them the strangest horror games. Do you guys consider them horror games? I never quite saw them as horror games. I saw them as like puzzle escape rooms. Of course, they have horror elements. Like there's jump scares, there's Zero being kind of creepy at times, but I wouldn't call them horror games myself. I said we were going to go to Quill, and then I got distracted. I suppose that's what these games are for, though. Why is everything so high? Jesus. Elixir of Restoration restores health and mana to maximum. The legendary elixir has been used by Wiccan cults, but is banned in the apothecaries of the Apostatic Union for its use of illegal ingredients. Death's Veil, a legendary mushroom with potent alchemical potential. If a traveler becomes cursed in the Underlands, their corpse may become host to this fungi. It is said the properties of this herb can change based on the personality of the deceased host. Is this what's his name was looking for? The Dale Cooper guy? Look at that shroom. The youth looks at you with caution, wide eyes lodged in a gaunt face. Oh, a newcomer. Welcome to Pearl Village. My name's Lud. Were you, involved in all that commotion over at the old fort? I'm an Inquisition agent hunting criminals with the Apostatic Union. He shivers and looks you up and down. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. You don't much look like one of those agents. You must be undercover, right? Well, if it would help, I could tell you about our town. We're just a humble village. Have you heard of Sky Shroom? It's a mushroom that shows you the future. We grow it and sell it, only, things aren't going so well lately. People are worried. What's going wrong exactly? Well, the crop yield is bad. Each year we've been growing less Sky Shroom. Some people are getting worried. I've heard some people are considering the old ways. You know, consorting with the Wiccans and gods. Of course, very illegal, but also kind of exciting, wouldn't you say? Oh, I just mean, it's very boring here sometimes. Anyway, the local waymaster, Colwich, has gotten pretty spooked by it all. He's weighing everyone who comes by just to make sure they're not a Wiccan. But my mother, Alwyn, oh, she's the mayor, by the way, doesn't seem too bothered by it at all. She's much too worried about something else. I heard her mumbling about some sort of monster lately. Oh, I'm sorry. I do tend to waffle, don't I? Is there anything you'd like to know? Oh, I suppose... Just in town you'll find the Way House. The Waymaster, Colwich, is pretty respected around here. Nearby is the Skryshroom Company, which sells Skryshrooms, of course, and, other things. Further up the hill is the Mayor's house. That's where my mother, the mayor, lives. She sometimes has work going. And further up is Old Sacred Shroom. Only it's, dead. What does the Waymaster do? Oh, Colwich? He's pretty important. He went to Ryova, the capital city of the Apostatic Union. That's really far away, to get certified as a Waymaster. He weighs things for merchants and buyers to make sure the price is fair. Might not seem like much, but for a small town like us, it means we can trade with realms like Vena, Beyond, and Lundell. But he also weighs people. Lately, he's been real weird about Wiccan sympathizers, and he has magic cipher scales that can tell if you're evil. He's not weighed me, though. I guess he doesn't think I'm tough enough to be a criminal. Tell me about the Skryshroom Company. Well, it's run by Dwin, whose family has been growing Skryshroom for generations. Without his company, the town wouldn't really exist. Mushrooms are kinda all there is around here. Mother won't let me drink the Skryshroom tea, even though she does all the time. She says it's too intense. That you have to be a responsible adult to see the future. I don't see the big deal, though. She mostly just hallucinates about having a bigger garden. So your mother is the mayor. Not everyone likes her because she comes from all the way over in Lundell. That's a faraway place with castles and Winsop Moors in Union Heartland. I was born here, so I've never been. Why is the Sacred Shroom dead? Oh, well, that's because Colwich killed her god, of course. Would you care to elaborate? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot not everyone knows about it. Our old god was Engwin, and he was really mean. Like, he wanted people to sacrifice themselves at the sacred shrooms to make the Skryshrooms grow good. I hope I didn't waffle too much. Oh, of course. Bye. I would like a bed, if you don't mind. I see a sign for a bed. Ah, welcome, welcome. Pull up a stool. If you're looking for Skryshroom, you've come to the right place. Do you know what Skryshroom does, newcomer? Yes. Then you'll have heard it shows you the future, but see, that puts off some folks. as they're scared of what they might see. I'm here to tell you it ain't like that. There ain't no cipher spell in the great library of Beyond that can do what a scryshroom does. It plunges you into the river of time so you can see the bends and the currents rushing towards you. Do you know how I grew this business? Do you know how I grew this business? Not with luck, my friend. Oh no. I used the humble scryshroom to outsmart my rivals, and now my company ships them to every corner of the Apostatic Union. So what do you say? You buying? So wait, do these visions always come true? Well, now I can't say that they're always right. The future can be changed, see, and I won't be held accountable for any foolishness or failures you get yourself into after you use them. Okay, you've convinced me. What are you selling? That's what I like to hear. I've got a pot of scryshroom tea on the brew, and we've also got a few other odds and ends if you're hankering for supplies. I've also a room to rent upstairs for 2 coin if you need some rest. Alright, here's what we got. Compass. A sturdy compass to orient oneself allows its bearer to see their position on a map if they have one. Since magnetized lodestone is rare in the Sky Realms, compasses often rely on a simple magic cipher instead. I'll take that. Doesn't look like I can sell anything. Mug of scryshroom tea, the curls of steam rising from it twisting into strange and suggestive patterns. Drinking this tea, brewed from scryshrooms, boosts your lore for a time, granting glimpses of knowledge and sudden insights. Alright. How's the scryshroom trade? Scryshroom is misspelled there. Oh, demand's never been better. The shop I run's just out of respect for the village, but really I make my money selling shrooms in bulk to merchants. There's a real penchant for the stuff. These days, peddlers, poets, and polymaths alike are drinking the stuff from Lundell to Vena. In the tea rooms of beyond, ladies and gents are seeing their futures unfurl before them. But I'd be lying if I said it was all good news. The harvest's been down lately, and each year we're going less of the stuff. If Uncle were here, he'd know what to do. I heard Quill had a certain reputation for smuggling. A lot of folk talk about that. A lot of folk don't know what they're talking about. Sure, a lot of mercenaries have set up shop around these parts, and yeah, we trade with them. But here in Quill, we pay our taxes just like anyone in the Union. That's why old Colwich went to Riova to learn to be a waymaster and all. And if you've been snooping around and seen some things you don't like the look of, I'd advise you to keep your trap shut. I don't pay Nud over there just for his looks, you know. He protects my business interests. You hear me? Anything else? I'll try to keep the ruckus down in the morning when we're packing up the goods. New face, eh? If you've got business here, talk to Dwyn at the counter. He's the proprietor of this business. I'm really only employed to make sure things go smoothly. You don't seem like the rest of the villagers. My, you're perceptive, eh? I'm a mercenary, you see. I fought with the Beyond Serpents, the Lundell Blackguard, and even the Dark Stars for a time. And now, I protect the business interests of this fine gentleman. Nothing more. So please, pay me no heed. Alright. Let's make this home for now. The man's eyes follow you with suspicion. His graying hair and withered skin suggests he is older than most in the village, and the faded scar runs down his face. You're new to town, I gather. Well, I'm the local waymaster. Name's Colwich, and I'll have you know, before you engage in any business here in Quill, I'll be taking your weight. So, without another word, please step on the scales. Thanking you kindly. Go ahead, then. In Pool Village, you met the Weighmaster Callose, who refused to speak with you until you were weighed by his enormous scales. You've weighed yourself, and so you should probably report back to him. He studies the dials and symbols atop the machine and scratches various notes on some parchment. Interesting. Very interesting. Did I pass? The prime glyph says you're a criminal. The lesser glyphs are harder to parse. Let's see now. They say you killed a man, multiple witnesses. And what's this? Martial trauma. I'm sorry to say I've known plenty of soldiers who lost their reason. Ah, but there's one more glyph. Inquisition agent? Begging your pardon. At first glance, I thought you might be one of those Darkstar mercenaries, running from the Inquisition raid, but you must have been fighting those scoundrels, eh? I'm a confessor, atoning for my crimes. Well, far be it from me to delay Inquisition business. I've approved your visit to Quill. You won't get in any trouble. But, in light of your profession, in light of your profession, could you lend this humble servant of the Apostatic Union a hand? There'd be an Apostatic Union passport in it for you. You see, the Inquisition raid ain't the only reason we've been so eager to weigh people of late. There's also fears of bloody god worship among the townsfolk, after all we've been through. So you need my help tracking down god worshippers? Aye. Folks have been afeared recently, you see. The soil's dying and harvests are down. Merchants want to buy our scryshroom more than ever, but we can't meet demand, so some have been flirting with the old ways. What makes the old ways so bad? It's been 40 years since the God War, 40 years since the Apostatics told the Wiccans and their gods to go fuck themselves. 40 years since me and the lads drove a void spear through our own god's eye, that cruel, violent bastard of a god, Ingwin. And in those 40 years, folks have forgotten how bad it was under the Divine Tyrant and his Wiccan lackeys. Sure, we had bountiful harvests and our purses were bulging, but our sons and daughters were taken from us, and the soil was fertilized with their blood. Now our old god Ingwin's been dead for long enough, but they say so long as people still believe, some part of a god can live on. So there's been murmuring of some folk trying to bring him back. And that's got the rest of us so scared shitless. Trouble with a small town like this, we all know each other, and the guilty parties won't talk to me. But you're an outsider, an Inquisition agent to boot. I need you to ask around and try to find any Wiccan sympathizers, so we can sort this out quiet-like before the villagers start lopping each other's heads off in a frenzy. Find someone now, and I'll dispense you a Union passport that'll grant you passage to Hallishire. Alright, I'll see what I can do. You have my thanks, newcomer. Just as soon as you find someone of the sorts, you let me know, you hear? Until next time. The owner of this place won't let you pass this point. Mana. Are you the mayor? The woman casts you an indifferent gaze. Greetings, traveler. Welcome to, the Quill port of the Winged Merchants Guild. I'm the local harbor master. Can I help you? How can I get my own airship? What, you think we just hand them out to bright-eyed travelers? It takes a lot of coin to buy a sailing vessel, you know. Most Union merchants only have shares of the ships they use. Plus, even if you had a bulging coin purse under those fine garments you're wearing, these days you need a writ of permission from the Riovan Port Authority. And trust me, you're not going to find one of those lying around out here in the sticks. What does the guild do here in Quill? Well, we oversee the transfer of goods, impose tariffs, check for contraband, that sort of thing. Quill is a pretty quiet place, so we don't get much traffic. Once a week, a merchant ship, usually a cog or a sloop, comes from Hollowtown with exports of the Union Heartlands. Maybe, once in a while we'll get a dhow from Alisfara. And after we unload their goods, what do they want? Skyshroom. Always fucking Skyshroom. I swear, if I have to watch Winch one more crate of the stuff, well, bye. Need to purchase an airship deed. So we can purchase our own airship if we get a deed. The woman sits with her eyes closed, a pained expression on her face. Various medallions and necklaces hang around her neck, suggesting she holds some important position here in Quill. She mutters under her breath, "Flames, oh the flames, we have to douse the flames." Is everything okay? Ah! What are you doing? You've got to get out of here. The Nautilob will burn you alive. Nothing's on fire, lady. You fool, even you are ablaze. Oh, how the skin melts from your bones. We have to... Nothing's on fire, is it? Oh, how embarrassing. I'm terribly sorry. You caught me in the middle of a divination. My name's Olwen, mayor of the humble village of Quill. How do you do? Did you say divination? Are we going to die? Oh, by the Sky Realms, not at all. There is only a distinct possibility we will be burned alive. You see, I have found myself presented with quite the dilemma. It's really nothing to worry about, so please don't cause a fuss. I have the whole thing quite under control. I was merely indulging in a Skyshroom meditation to divine what manner of threat this giant monster could pose. And it turns out it's really not much of a problem at all. What's this about a giant monster? Oh, so it's not common knowledge. I thought the whole town would be talking about it by now. You see, a small mercenary band has made certain, demands. I don't mean Vela's Dark Stars. This lot are much less, accomplished, which makes it all the more puzzling how they got their hands on a giant Nautilob. What's a Nautilob exactly? Just a Sky Realms mollusk that you find around these parts, easily recognizable by their shells, but I had absolutely no idea they could get this big. The mercenary scoundrels are threatening me with their huge Nautilob. They claim they'll sack the town if I don't comply with their absurd demands. I really don't want to cause a panic in town, so I'm at a loss what to do. But if someone could sneak into their fortress to the southeast and ascertain whether this Nautilob thing has any weakness we could exploit, well, let's just say the person would find themselves firmly within my favor. What if those mercenaries were to disappear? Oh, well, that would be quite the tragedy. The idea of more blood being spilled on Quillian soil is a horrible thought. But of course it would rather solve the problem here, wouldn't it? And with so little funds to hire guards, it would be awfully hard to catch the perpetrator of such a crime. Oh, but pay me no mind. I'm merely thinking out loud. Was there anything else? Do you know about any Wiccan worship going on? God worship? In Quill? Surely not. Most of the villagers who are old enough to remember actively relishing the death of their former god Engwyn for all the horrible things he did. I think that's supposed to be relish. Most of the villagers who are old enough to remember actively relish the death of their former god. I think that's supposed to be relish. I met your son, Lud. Oh yes, my darling boy. Was he just loitering around on the path again? I can never get that boy to pursue his studies, no matter how hard I try. But I shouldn't be too hard on him. There aren't any other children his age in Quill, and my mayoral duties keep me so busy. That reminds me, it's nearly time for my invigorating intonations. I'm looking for Dark Star mercenaries. Oh please, if I hear one more word about these bloody Dark Stars... We've always had our fair share of miscreants attracted to Quill. Turns out it's not only poets and horticulturists who are attracted to the solitude of the countryside. But when the wretched Vela Callose moved in with her cohorts, you wouldn't believe the type of scoundrels we had prancing up and down our idyllic cobbled streets. And now, on top of everything else, we have the Inquisition raiding the island. So I'm sorry, but if you have dealings with those ruffians, I really can't help you. Maybe you'll have better luck with someone else around town. I know Nud has done some jobs for them. You can usually find him in the local shop. Why don't you try bothering, asking him about it? Goodbye. You can see yourself out, yes? All right. Does this game autosave? Just realized I don't really know. Lift is already here. This is a lift. Okay, got it. What are you? Some kind of frog? Weird. What is this place? It does kind of bother me that this railing doesn't do anything. It doesn't actually exist. Is that a dragon? Interesting. Wobbly Nugget. Ye Old Pub, serving ale and providing bed and board. Hallowshire. Presided over by Hallow Town Council as of 1442. Lift is not yet active. Is this where we need the passport for? Greetings. The bridge is closed unless you're a bearer of a genuine Apostolic Union passport, so if you've not got one, get lost. Union isn't issuing new passports to Quill at the moment, some kind of precaution. Hard to come by, but someone around town might be able to help you. Have you met the Waitmaster? Remember that passports are single use. One passport grants you a lifetime travel over one bridge, but no others. That's not a passport then. I haven't seen the red tent yet. I want to know what that thing's deal is. Do we get to talk to that thing? Is that the nautilid? Say that the road that we walk on is painted with gold. Hi there. Farmhand sits aimlessly watching the mushrooms. Have you heard of any god worshippers around here? Amir don't know stuff, nothing. Amir don't know nothing, you hear? If I get caught talking about that kind of stuff, Colwich will go and weigh me on those scary scales of his. I'll leave you to it. Why is this here? Do you know anything about these Wiccan sympathizers? Oh, you mean those people who are cavorting with god worshipping? They say it's a criminal act, right? That you could be locked up forever? I'm sorry, but I don't know anything about it. You could try Nud, who's usually at the Skyshroom Company House. He used to be a mercenary and stuff. I'm sure he knows about such things. So there's a Nud and a Lud. Was there something else? Some mercenaries are threatening Quill with a giant nautilop. You mean that bunch of idiots down in the ruins? Don't make me laugh. Firstly, they're hardly fit to call themselves mercenaries. The mayor hired them to clear out monsters from the forest, a trifling task, and the show they put on was more fitting of a comedy troupe than a professional sellsword. Secondly, there's no such thing as a giant nautilop. At least, I've sailed far and wide in my time and never even heard of one larger than a silk slug. So the idea that those buffoons managed to capture one is preposterous. I'm guessing the mayor has asked you to look into the matter. Well, if I were you, I'd make use of your wits before drawing your sword. I sense there's some trickery at play here. Do you know of any god worshippers here? Ah, so has old Colwich got you hunting down would-be Wiccans then? I really don't like to get involved in such matters. What people ascribe to, be it legal or otherwise, is no business of mine. I'm no lawman, after all. Of course, it hardly needs stating that if I were looking for people involved in illicit deeds, I'd probably keep an eye out for what happens after nightfall. That would just be stating the obvious. I'm looking for former Darkstar mercenaries. Oh, is that so? Well, your motives better be pretty fucking congenial, because it's no secret that I'm a former Darkstar merc myself. Of course, I haven't sailed with them in years. I left after the mutiny, once it became clear that Vela's ambitions, once so intoxicating, were likely to get us all killed. Well, out with it then. Exactly who are you looking for? A meeting with Jack Basalt. Haha, good old Jack. In the Union, they still call him Shame of the Navy after he abandoned his rank and station to join Vela's merry band. In battle, the man was a demon. When his voice bellowed across the deck of a skyship, sword raised high, you may sure to heed it. But below decks, he always found time to share a drink with those under his command, learning their names, their troubles. Not every merc captain does that. Of course, I don't know if it was thanks to a kind heart or his weakness for the strong stuff. Let me guess, you're meeting in a pub, right? You're just gonna stride up to the boss lady herself and claim that Union bounty, aren't you? Now, don't get me wrong, I never really knew the woman. I was too low ranked to be clinking and tankard with her, but I've been privy to some of her deeds, and well, let's just say you don't ever want to cross swords with Vela Callose. As for where she's gone, I haven't the slightest idea, and I wouldn't tell you if I did. That woman has plans in motion that I couldn't begin to comprehend, and I won't be found complicit trying to thwart her efforts for the sake of my own neck. Alright, so we want to look around after dark. What else do we have? Let's buy some tea and go back to Dale Cooper. Is this anything? It's not anything. My next criticism is that I wish that there were fast travel unlocked already. It seems very much like a Bethesda type of exploration and questing game. Bethesda usually has fast travel unlocked right from the start. So it would be nice if there were fast travel options. Ah, Confessor 17. I just knew you'd survive the assault. The drones were all but certain you'd meet a gruesome end, but you sure showed them, huh? About that tea you wanted. I got you some Scrysham tea. Ah, Confessor, this is exactly what I was looking for. How thoughtful of you. He removes from his belt a tiny metal teapot. He slips some loose tea in the filter, and to your surprise, you notice it already contains boiling water. If you would be so kind as to wait a moment, Confessor, I really must let this brew. You wait for an uncomfortable few minutes in total silence while the Inquisitor stares at his miniature teapot. Finally, he seems satisfied. He pours the liquid into a cup and takes a sip. He frowns and is silent a moment. Confessor, this is... Excuse me. Damn fine tea. He takes another sip. I've tried an extraordinary number of teas in my time, and this is one of the best. My wife is going to love it. Please take this in recompense. Beads of sweat appear on the Inquisitor's forehead, and he seems to be staring at something only he can see. He mutters to himself, "Damn fine tea indeed. You think it's probably best to leave him be." What did we get? Oh, here's the level up. I don't know what he gave us. Did he give us the remarkable treasure? Alright. I guess we can go back to the village and sleep until night. What's happening? So that was a little bit weird. It wouldn't let me go to the right or to the left because of the time of day it was. So it's after dark. In the darkness and under such a thick hood, you can't make out the person's face. Get away from me, you hear? You shouldn't be here. Come any closer and I swear you'll regret it. So the menu switching for the day and night cycle was a little bit weird. I suppose it's not a huge deal since you just go down to, I just got the thing for Serve, Inquisitor, Ignavius, and T. I suppose it's not so bad because you just go down to the done and then go over, but it was a little bit weird. All of the achievements that I'm getting are rare, but I thought that this game was quite popular right now. So I'm not sure if other people just aren't getting their achievements or what's going on. Because it was like less than 6% of people got the blinding light. And that's like the first mission in the game. This reminds me of Skyrim. Following the Khajiit on the docks. Don't mind if I do. In Quill Village, you found evidence of god worship deep in the caves under the town. Waitmaster Colwich will surely want to hear of this. There's the god. You glimpsed a glimmer of delusion. Collect more to gain a full delusion. Does that give us a thing? Does not. There he is. This world is so darkly pretty, and I love it. Okay. I found evidence of god worship in Pill. Oh yeah? Tell me then, why don't you? Saw someone dressed in robes looking around at night. That is mighty suspicious. But on its own, I can't do naught with this kind of evidence. Can we try and find where they were going? If they really were a Wiccan, there'd be some sort of ritual, maybe? Signs of someone trying to rekindle the contract. There were occult instruments in the caverns below Quill. For a moment, he merely stares past you, lost in thought. This can mean only one thing. If someone's conducting rituals around Angwin's corpse, that means they're trying to reopen the blood contract. But buried in those clauses was a terrible cost. No less than human sacrifice. Here, take this key. I'll unlock the upper chamber in the sacred shroom to the west. There's no doubt in my mind someone's being taken to the sacred shroom to be metabolized as per the contract's terms. You gotta go there and save them. Did you say metabolized? In the old days, there were sacred shrooms all over Quill. Each would spawn a whole forest of scry shrooms, but only if they'd received metabolized human. I ain't sure if the scry shrooms used parts if the scry shrooms used part of the human body to achieve their effect, or whether it was all just part of Angwin's divine mockery, but I know the scry shrooms used to be more potent in the old days. Now there's only one sacred shroom left, deep in the mushroom forest to the west. All the others shriveled up and died when we stopped feeding them flesh. How do I get into this mushroom? Well, you'll need to travel through the mushroom forest. You can't miss the shroom itself. It's probably the biggest mushroom you've ever seen. On account of it being used by the Wiccans in the past, there's doors and paths leading up around the shroom itself. The main doors will lead you through the central stem, but there might be a whole host of nasty monsters waiting to tear you a new one. So you might try looking for a way around to the back. It'll probably be locked up tight, but you might have less fight on your hands that way. I'm relying on you, you know. Alright, let's go to the sacred shroom. So it's definitely Lud who's trying to resurrect the old god, right? Why would you try to resurrect that old god? You could always get Lynetta, you could always get Roxanne. I just don't understand why Angwin. There's nobody here. Paradoxicus. An impossible flower that seems to shift between different shapes can be used as an alchemy ingredient. This herb seems to defy the very principles of reality, often appearing differently depending on how it is observed. Get up there. Can I jump? Yes. Can I jump? Oh, no. Alright. I can swim. Can't swim down, just across. Don't see me. Oh, hi. Squirming Godlet, a squirming, writhing creature that looks at you with wet, beady eyes and occasionally squeals with some unknown intent. Various factions in Halishire might be interested in such a specimen, perhaps the Apostatic Union or the Wiccans. Damn it. Yeah, it's going to be too far. Can I drop down here? I think that's safe. The nice thing about these monsters is that you can just kind of like run past them. Why does that frog have a sword? Frogs shouldn't have swords. Oh, hi. Thought I had a key for this. I thought I had a key for these. What do I have a key for, if not those? I guess we try to go in the back way? Really wishing right now that I had gotten the lockpicking skill up. It's part of my starting bonus. Come on. Ow. Glimmer of Delusion. I don't understand the whole lockpicking thing. It seems like every lockpick is either a 5 or a 6. Item is D-pad up. There we go. Did I get the thing earlier? Yeah. Ah, damn it. This is really aggravating. Okay, there we go. Move, 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 move. Hit him. Thank you. All right. Can't read that? Really? It's a lockpick. Take that. Activate this. modest treasure. So I can probably sell those at the shop back in the place. The nauseating stench of bile engulfs the flesh chamber. Before you, a huge digestional tract pulsates and throbs with corrosive acid. It would seem as though this mushroom has organs. Blood rises behind the digestive membrane, clearly in agony. When he sees you, he looks shocked. You! Who did this to you? Nobody! Everyone assumes I'm just some stupid kid. Just the mayor's idiot's son. They don't take me seriously. Now I can show them I'm worth something. I can save the village, all by myself. I found the old Wiccan contract rights stashed in my mother's basement. I convinced Amir to help me set it up, but it was me who whispered to Ingwin and felt his reply echo through my bones. The village isn't worth dying for, kid. Says who? Colwich is always talking of his war buddies who died to liberate Quill, but why is that any different from this? Just because we're not at war? Quill is dying. Everyone says so. Since Angwin was killed, the soil's drying up. Another generation, there'll be nothing left. This is the only way to save the village. Some towns dry up. It's just the way it is. That's easy for you to say, not being from here. Quill is the only place I've ever known. I won't survive anywhere else. You don't know that. The sky realms are full of impossible places beyond your wildest dreams. I don't care about other places. I only have one home, and it's Quill. So you really want to do this, knowing that you'll die? I've never been so sure of anything in my life. I want to save the village. I want Quill to live on, even if I have to die. Well, I respect your decision. Thank you. I'm glad at least someone took me seriously in the end. Can I ask you a final favor? Of course. A hand pushes out from the membrane, slick with slime. Will you hold my hand? You stay like this for a few minutes in silence before his hand goes limp. You realize that Led is dead.